I'm not sure I made this public. I'll give it a few minutes and we'll find out. I'll go check. Ordinarily, I would check with my phone, but I didn't bring it out because the battery's dead. If anybody pops in, I am checking YouTube to make sure that I set this right. As far as I know, I set it to. No, it's public. Okay. I'll be patient. So Squatch, Chipper. There we go. So I was beginning to wonder if I had it set on public or unlisted or whatever. It's a random. Let's just do a live stream thing anyway. I've been surfing YouTube while not logged in. Excuse me. I'm at home and I don't usually zip that. What'd you do this time, Squatch? What are you looking at? You have all of your inside toys outside. You have a single ball left in the house, do not. And you got to quit getting the baby's balls. They're not for you to chew up. Hey, Carol. I'd only been live for about a minute when you popped on. Why? Never mind. Didn't we discuss putting a set of stairs up that slope when I was there? Not judging. I'm just asking. Yeah, he stuck the landing. What the hell did you find rocks down there? At the bottom? I'm sorry. The slope behind your house or the slope up to the backside of your property? Chip, one of these days I got to drive through, pick you up, and we got to drive onto his spot. If it was in your state, you'd want it. I guarantee. I know. If it was on this side of the Mississippi, I'd want to live there. That's the one I figured. I almost slid down that thing one time. Kind of over there where we were. Me and Zach were shooting a big pew pew he built. Where he was shooting, I was just looking. Hey, ungrateful peasant. Jolene, she said, stop. Jolene, get over here and lay down. Jolene. See what she did when I said lay down? That's what you're supposed to be doing. No, ma'am. Lay down. You want to chase? You want the monkey? Go get it. Anybody wants to come play with my dog? I'll let you. Did I just throw it outside? You want to throw it out again? You gotta let go. I'm not playing tug of war. Tug of war's outside game. Anyway, she's shredded 2 monkeys so far. Yeah. She's doing really good. I'm making her sleep outside now because I was getting up in the middle of the night and not asking out. Damn it. Hey, Kentucky. Yeah, are you getting around? Can I see the monkey? Give me the monkey. This is a monkey. I didn't mean to do that. But now the rope comes all the way out. Do you want the monkey or the rope? Go get the monkey. See, I pulled his leg out. But what we'll do is we'll take a little top knot in it. And now she's got another toy. Perfect. She has a knot like this in the house that she will not bring outside. So, probably teaching her bad habits to chew on ropes. Whatever. That's a good thing, Kirsten. Need to get him a little T-shirt that says "Dictator." You really do. At least you've upgraded him. I guess you finally decided to just let him take over. He was just a terrorist. Now you're calling him a dictator. Awesome. She's good. Anyway, has anybody noticed that like the crazy people, not crazy is the wrong word for it, but yeah, even the normal people are thrown off now. When people watch a 2 or 3 minute or maybe 20 or 30-minute video on some vague statue of the law or whatever, and they run with it like it's, constitutional. And these are like normal, what you'd consider normal professional type people. It's like you've either got Karens or you've got completely thrown offs. It's like there's no normal people. I'm looking at the people in my chat right here, and I'm not 100% sure that there's any normal people in the chat. Says I'm up to 11. Got Ungrateful, Kiri, got the Squatch, Kentucky, Carol, Chipper, and evidently a lurker for. I may have the chat set to subscriptions only. I don't know. I can't remember. I've had to do that on the last few because I don't really feel like farting with. Exactly, Kirsten. Uh, um, you got to just sit there and chew all that knot now. So what she's been trying to do is get that rope out of the stupid thing. I mean, like I said at the beginning, or started to say at the beginning, was that I've been spending the time I do spend on YouTube. I've been spending not logged in, just to see what's out there. They've actually got um, another YouTube channel that's not attached to my phone number or anything, and been so it's like not me in any way, shape, or form. That I search on, and dude, it's depressing. The stuff that's on the trending or whatever. Well, all of it's disturbing. Now we don't see it um, if you're running your search history and stuff, and Sadie, I'm going to cut that foot off. Um, if you're running that, then they suggest stuff, that's similar to what you've already watched and stuff like that. So you don't realize any of this other stuff's going on. And if you don't, like me, if you don't have your watch history turned on, then they won't suggest anything to you. And I was like, well, I'm not, because I reset it a couple times and was able to get it to go back to suggesting stuff, but it won't do it again. So that's when I did the other name and started searching on through that one. And yeah, it's just really scary. People that watch Fox News and stuff like that a lot on YouTube are never going to see what the news outlets from the other side, and there are a lot more than CNN and MSNBC and them out there that are slamming every good thing there is left about this country. And just bald-faced lies about what's going on in Europe. And I've harped on this before. One of the worst places is National Public Radio. That's their 100% leftist propaganda. That's all they are. And that's paid for by our tax dollars. It's annoying. Well, I don't know if it's anyway, it's people throw money at it, and not everybody gets to talk on there. Just one side. It's annoying. Hey, the hell is wrong with you? Stop chewing on stuff. You want this monkey? You want this monkey? Go get this monkey. He's not it? Oh, that's a nice catch, TK. You go, girl. She just walked by with a gopher. That's my cat. I've watched her on them. She'll walk by and she'll see a push-up move, and then she'll just sit there and she'll watch that push-up for hours. That's a full-grown gopher. And it's funny, if you feed her, she goes outside and she kills something. And she eats what she wants and she leaves the rest of it for the dogs. She doesn't leave the gophers, though. She likes all of the gopher. She'll only eat the head and shoulders off of a rat. But she doesn't leave any gopher. I don't know what the difference is. I guess it's the diet. Did you get in trouble? Now you're going to pout? That's Jolene, by the way. I'm talking to. I'm not talking to the ground. Let's see. What's the weirdest thing? Some of the man. I've got to get me a dash camera. I thought the stuff that was happening in front of me on the roads was stupid. Dash cam videos, that tell you exactly how dumb people are right now. And when I first started watching the dash cam videos, they were all from like Russia or Germany or somewhere else. But now they're all like, those are American plates. Carol, did you get a hold of Rob and get my number and stuff? I mean, you don't have to use it, just have it in case. My email's still on my About Me page or whatever. If you feel more comfortable doing that, just. We're not going to get lucky and be a plague, man. I don't know what it's going to be. Did y'all see where they got fentanyl coyotes? Fentanyl raccoons and fentanyl coyotes running around this one place? The people are finding out there's fentanyl in their dope and they're dumping it rather than doing it or selling it or whatever because they don't want to kill nobody. And it's getting in the groundwater and screwing up the animals. Yeah, yes. And I have been completely staying away from the news because it just sets me off now. Doesn't do me any good. I've always gotten irritated real easy and it just gets fucking real irritated now real fast. So, but I had to go to Walmart today and I was paying attention to people at Walmart. And I actually saw some normal people in there, which scared me. But these normal people just wanted to get their shit and get out. And I don't even count myself as a normal person. Trust me, I have some, what are they, what's the word, idiosyncrasies? I got some of those. I had a collection of them. I don't think that the stuff I saw in Chernobyl and stuff, the mutations are not beneficial to the wildlife. Like the birds and stuff, they're able to reproduce, but they're not living as long. They're all dying of cancer and stuff like that. Uh, they're having some of the birds that are hatching out and stuff aren't viable, and they don't make it to. And I guess eventually all those would weed out, and all you'd have are the mutations that were beneficial. So I guess it's possible. Because I haven't dug into Chernobyl in 6 years, and 6 years in birds and stuff like that's a long time. That's 12 generations, and wolves. I guess wolves would be I'd be 6 generations out. That's a lot of generations. I wonder how long before they start finding collars for them wolves in Colorado, but there's no wolf inside them. Isn't that elephant's foot thing still boiling in that place? That chunk of molten whatever the hell it is, isn't it still cooking? I mean, the radiation levels are tolerable within so far of there, but anyway. I would like to blame the way everybody's starting to act on anything but other than the fact that I think the country's just let itself go. And all the I think the ungodly have taken over all positions of authority in the world. Like all the CEOs, I'd really like to know if there's a single newscaster with any kind of Judeo-Christian faith. Not that they claim, that they actually live. Well, that's a wrong way to go if you're going to make Godzillas. Radioactive catfish. Radioactive man-eating Russian catfish. That would be awesome, actually. Or technically, would it be Russian or Ukrainian? Isn't Chernobyl in Ukraine? Asking for a friend. I don't think Chernobyl was an accident. Um, honestly, just too many safeties on those things. What happened in Japan? That was an earthquake. Um, I don't think the Western countries could afford for the Russian bloc to keep having clean, affordable energy. Just yeah, and there was a lot of people that had to live, but there wasn't anybody important that had to leave. It was a really good place for something like that. If anything like that was going to happen, that was a really good place for it. Just some, what do they call them? I guess sharecropper type farmers or whatever, and the little village that supported Chernobyl. I mean, they blew it way up and made it sound like there was a lot of people, but there wasn't that many people. But anyway, pretty sure because there's, um, yeah, it was in Ukraine. You know, a explosion of a reactor. Red flag one near the city of Pripyat. And how big was Pripyat? But anyway, it was, well, they've got entire cities that look like Pripyat in China that they built and then nobody moved into. Same floor plans. Uh, the socialist communist country governments and stuff want to build ant farms and want everybody living in the cities. And then they want to select the people that they force to go back out in the country and support the cities. They want the people in the countries to be subservient to overlords that are controlled by those in the heavily populated cities so that they will be in control of the food and therefore in control of the populace. I don't know if anybody's caught on to the fact that that's exactly what they're doing here. They actually brought up a new proposition in our state that, as written, well, I kind of like the proposition, but I don't think I'm going to like the law. It's going to be written just like every other one has been written. Well, this time it might go through. It's instead of a property tax, a consumption tax. And then by the time they get the law written and get all the bickering back and forth before they start voting on it, they're going to be like, okay, well, we want it to be, we want this to have an exclusion. We want these people to have an exclusion. We want these people to have an exclusion. We will take all of the taxes and bring it into a central deal, and then we'll redistribute it in the state as needed. No, everybody gets their own taxes. Now, in our county, we don't have industry and sales and stuff like that, so we're not going to be making, our county's not going to make any money off of a consumption tax. If there's exemptions for farmers, ranchers, people who are going to buy and resell and stuff like, we're not going to have anything. So we'll die, basically, is what will happen. So it doesn't work. The only way sales tax works, the only way consumption tax works, is if there is no exemptions. Everybody pays. If you purchase a stock, if you buy stock in a company, you pay sales tax. If you buy cottonseed so you can plant the cottonseed, you pay sales tax. If you buy drill pipe, you pay sales tax. If you buy cotton, you pay sales tax. Everybody that does business pays the sales tax. If that was nationwide, if that was the rule nationwide, we would have no need for property tax or income tax if everybody paid taxes. The stock market would stabilize because people would quit buying and selling. Buy a stock in the morning, sell it in the evening. They would have to invest in something and leave their freaking money there. And then you made a good deal or you made a bad deal. You couldn't realize that, oh, that's going to be a mistake, and tomorrow it's going to go to crap and unload it. You'd have to ride it out. And it would work the same with the big guys out there. Yeah, and if the only way that works is if none of the lobbyists get to dictate that they don't have to pay taxes. We're buying this stuff for research and development. So what? You're still paying taxes on it. All that aluminum you're buying to make that new F-16 or whatever you're building it out of, or F-27,000.LUX, whatever you're building, I don't give a shit. You're going to pay a sales tax on it, buddy. It costs money to be in the game. You have to pay money to be in the game. And then what you make is yours. Yeah, you're gonna wind up paying the same taxes, same amount of taxes, because government's never going to shrink. As long as you got purple hairs and yellow hairs and he, she, they, it's, and Karens and Darrens and I can't even go on Facebook and try to buy goats anymore, people. until we go back to being a republic and get away from being a freaking democracy, we're not going to lower taxes. It's not supposed to be about who screams the loudest. Man, we're pretty sure we saw a lady today try to make it out like somebody injured her in the parking lot, but when the intended victim just went in and drove on off, and she realized that there was other people there, she just slopped it off and went and got in the car and left. Well, see, we don't even control the grain. That's the big problem in about Ukraine is Ukraine makes most of the damn wheat. They are the perfect climate for the wheat that you use to make light bread. I mean, they ship that shit out there like other countries ship out oil. I mean, it's got tanker after tanker after tanker just hauling freaking grain, people. And they're trying to bring up the secession again. Now I'm actually rooting for the people in, was it Oregon that want to secede from? Half of Oregon wants to secede and become Idaho, I believe. Actually, over half of the state. I think just about everybody east of Portland. And I actually think some of the northern California counties are talking about that stuff. Hey, Sid's Well, that's true about the not producing. They made such a bumper crop of wheat here. They actually paid the farmers to plow a bunch of it in. Some of it they were allowed to turn into hay. The rest of it, they literally just they put the disc on that stuff and turned it in. Just plowed it in. There's nothing wrong with it. Yeah, there's no we've got from Texas to Canada, we have plenty of groceries. Florida makes a butt ton of groceries. Southern California makes a butt ton of groceries. Oregon and Washington State, God, they grow a lot of vegetables up there. Cabbage, strawberries, all kinds of berries, all kinds of food. They grow food. They grow carrots like crazy up there. All that really good spinach comes from up that part of the world. There's but the farmers have to buy their fuel and parts and everything to keep their farming going from the same places that the guys who are producing oil do. And because they can gouge the prices on the oil producers, it trickles back down to the farmers. That's it just drives me nuts that there's guys out there that are making 45, 50 bucks an hour running a machine to make bolts. I used to run a bolt machine. Given some time, and if the monkey was apt, that monkey could have done my job. I just watched the machine run. That's all I did. It's damn sure not worth 45 bucks an hour. Yeah. 45, 50 bucks an hour for running a spot welding machine. You need a robot spot welding machine? Well, yeah. That's because they've devalued the dollar. And this whole thing with the problem is people keep telling their kids that they want them to do better than them and they want them to go to college and they don't want them to have to work with their hands. They want them to work with their minds. So all the really good paying jobs, the ones that are actually worth the money, are going to guys that can't speak English because they're willing to go out there and get dirty and be uncomfortable in the cold and uncomfortable in the heat and have calluses and have to wear work boots and stuff. I got so fed up with it when I realized that I was actually living better at $7.35 an hour than I was at 21 bucks an hour. I was just sick. And when they raised that minimum wage to $7.20 an hour, it took me forever to get up to where I was making the money I was making before they made it $7.20 an hour. Because everybody else's purchasing power went up and mine went down. All of a sudden, the worms were making almost as much as I was. I remember when I first started roustabout when I was a kid. Man, I was so stoked about $6 an hour. I mean, that was 75 cents or 65 cents above minimum wage, and I had 60 hours a week. I was banking, man. I was doing great. And I got $6.50 an hour. I got $7 an hour. I got $7.35 an hour. Then I made $8.25 an hour. And then boom, everybody was making $7.20 an hour. I said, what the fuck? So I kept on going. Finally, I made $10 an hour. Then I made $10.50 an hour. Then I made $11 an hour. Hey, Miguel. Yeah, I mean it's uh, we were driving a fairly new car, and um, the kids had clothes and toys, and we were eating okay. We weren't on stamps. That's the deal. I mean, um, you're not going to be able to get together on the deal. Young people, you're going to struggle, and they don't want to, but they've been brainwashed by their parents that struggling is wrong. It's part of life. If you don't want to work for somebody else, I don't know what to tell you, because even as a contractor, the customer was my boss. You're or when I was working for myself, I was the worst possible boss I could have because I didn't give myself days off. Uh, I didn't give myself paid days. I didn't give myself a raise. Um, I drove the rattiest truck in the damn fleet. That fleet had like 4 or 5 trucks. AC 103, and that's the problem. I mean, what do you do when your currency isn't any good? It doesn't have any value. Um, and it's the downside to it. Everybody keeps pointing their fingers at the politicians, and it's not them. It's the lobbyists. It's corporations, the big ones. It's the World Bank and the Federal Reserve Bank. Um, the it's really nice bit of fiction or whatever, the Game of Thrones, but you notice the one country kingdom that the Dragon Lady never invaded was the banking country. It's just weird. And I realize that the politicians don't work for us and they work for them, but um, what do we do? Because if we do away with them, then we literally have nothing. We we don't. I mean, without money, without them, without the Federal Reserve Bank and all them, we don't have any money. We don't have any currency. Well, we'll have this new currency. Well, what about Bitcoin? Bitcoin, the value of Bitcoin is based on the dollar. It's not locked into gold. It's not locked into a tangible product. Bitcoin is absolutely the biggest scam out there. It's literally nothing. The only way to get Bitcoin is to buy Bitcoin with money. You can't trade a Bitcoin for 2 Bitcoins. If you have a Bitcoin and you want more Bitcoin, you have to give money, US dollars or rubles or yen or something the fuck or other else for the Bitcoin. And I wish I had a stack of silver and a stack of gold, but same thing. That gold and that silver, the value of the gold and silver is based in dollars or yens or rubles or whatever else, pesos. Um, we're kind of screwed. And I think a lot of the people out there that are all thrown off, walking around, banging their head into the wall and tripping over cigarette butts in the parking lot because they can't get out of their phone, and wearing their pajamas backwards and their Crocs on their wrong feet and their ponytail off to one side and stuff because they really just didn't give a shit. I think they set out to where they realize that it's not going to matter what they do. Sadie, you going to go see what he's on about? Well, is that my job? Excuse me. What are you on about, Hyde? Are you harassing the cat? That's her kill. You want to kill one, you kill your own. I'd like to see somebody trade labor for Bitcoin. Hell, I start up a little fake bank somewhere in the cloud. I get all kinds of stuff done for some Bitcoin. Now, I guarantee you, whenever you click on your Bitcoin and try to withdraw it into cash, the server's going to go down. Same as them other ones did. It'll work fine as long as you're dumping money into it. Hey, High Desert. Church attendance is shit. Nuclear family is all but dead. All right, Carol. Sorry I'm not in a cheerful, uplifting mood tonight, sister. I'm glad you didn't burn to nothing, though. See, like High Desert, he does the silver thing or whatever, but it just, and I want to. I mean, we've got money invested in the market. Not very much. It's part of. I don't even follow it. Shit. I got a guy for that. But it'll be like there'll be money there, and then there won't be. And then there'll be money back in, and then there won't be. There was a lot of people from the bigger cities that went and did that stuff in World War II. A lot. But percentage wise, it was mostly small town USAs. Well, how do you How do you rate wealth without money? My personal opinion, the only way to actually stack wealth is with real estate, because they're literally not making any more of that. So the problem is they're slowly but surely chipping away at your ownership of your real estate. So but in the event that money becomes garbage, how do you convert your land into anything other than land? And if there is no rule of law, or the rule of law goes against private ownership, how do you convert your wealth into currency? It's yeah, but if nobody has currency to purchase the food, that what you're talking about works in a, is it feudal the right word? Where you have small pockets of people trading with other small pockets of people. This pocket over here has copper. This pocket over here has salt. This pocket over here can grow black pepper. This pocket over here is the only place around that can make the cabbage come up. Those kind of deals. I mean, yeah, it works, but um, if everybody's got their own, wheat on one side of the road will make one year, the other side it won't. So as long as your product is what you're, and that's the deal. I mean, they call it the gross domestic product. You can't say the gross domestic product is based on what we're spending. Our spent money can't be our product. It's the dumbest shit ever. That is why the country is failing. Our gross domestic product should be based off of how much our country is producing. Are we making grain? Are we making cars? Are we making cell phones? Are we making rocket shoes? Are we making saddles? Are we making shoes? Are we making China's got a hell of a gross domestic product. They produce a shit ton of stuff. We don't produce much. Yeah, but None of us want to go without McDonald's. Well, I do. I mean, I just don't go to McDonald's. But in modern society, we don't want to go without air conditioning. We don't want to go without electric light. We don't want to go without the internet. Um, we don't want to go without cell phone service. We don't want to go without interstate highways. We don't want to go without automobiles. Um, we don't want to go without modern medical treatment. I don't. I don't want to be in a world without modern medical treatment. Um, yeah. Without modern medical treatment, I would have to bury my son. Would have probably already buried my son. So yeah, I like the modern medical treatment. Um, my pain levels would not be tolerable without modern medicine. Um, and I won't even let them give me narcotics. I just deal with most of it. I have a backup camera on my truck. I don't want to have to cut firewood and pump a bellows until both pieces of steel are so hot they're about to melt, just so I can smack them together with a hammer when I want to weld something. We thought we were getting a Wendy's, and then we found out it was just an oil change place. Now I'm very upset. Which they say it's an oil change place, but they're not digging pits. So I don't know, man. It may be a Wendy's. Yeah. Hey, Lily. Oh, I'm done reading. He puts in like big comments on it. Yeah, oil change. We already had two of them, three of them. I need another oil change place. We don't know Wendy's, man. Whenever we're traveling, I don't get to eat Wendy's because my wife doesn't like Wendy's. I love Wendy's hamburgers, but can't go to Wendy's. I ate there one time, didn't like it. We don't get to go back. Yeah, but think about it. Overseas, where the prices of everything are lower, the people don't make as much money. It's pretty much chipper. I do. I do. I do search the Waffle Houses. That's we still don't have a Waffle House close enough for my preference. Um, we had a Denny's. We were trying to get by, but that Denny's is turned to crap. Can't get waited on now. So I've got to travel another 20 something miles to get to a Denny's. We could be in Denny's in 30 minutes, but not anymore. Well, 40 minutes. Most of the government regulatory stuff is unconstitutional anyway. Taxation without representation. We're none of the people that those taxes are going to support the regulatory stuff are, they don't represent us. I've said this, and I'll say it again. Alcohol, tobacco, and firearms is an unconstitutional organization. If they would drop the firearms part, the rest of it's still questionable. But definitely the firearms part is unconstitutional. You can't have, in a constitutional republic, you can't have a law enforcement organization whose purpose is to regulate the private ownership of firearms, because in the Constitution it says they shall not be infringed. The right to keep and bear arms shall not be infringed. So they can't exist. But I am not opening no Wendy's. I don't want to work at one. I just want to go in and get a burger. But that's what I'm saying. I mean, none of us are willing to. We say we are, but until you can live your modern life without the things that you say you're willing to do without, because think about it, all those things that you say you're willing to do without, you can do without. Just don't do them. Just don't do them. Get a farm, act like you're Amish, drive a buggy, ride a horse, trot around on a mule, boosh. Don't need air conditioning anymore. You're outside in it. Just get a bigger hat. Oh wait, that's not going to work. It takes forever to get somewhere on a horse. That's right. After you get through riding a horse, and you got to groom the horse, and you got to put the horse up, and you got to give the horse water, and you got to give the horse food. You're working all the time. We live in a world of convenience. Those other countries where everything is so cheap and stuff, and you go in there and people will do anything for $1, is because they really want that dollar. Because that dollar makes their life better. There are places over there that people literally make their living, as in that's where they get their food from, is going to the dump ground and digging. Because where the tourists go, they throw all the food out, and then it goes to the dump ground, and the people go to the dump ground and they dig it. They don't dig it out of the dumpsters. They have to wait till it gets to the trash heap. These people are rinsing maggots off of food and refrying the noodles and eating them. One thing we need to do is quit bitching about how bad we got it over here. We can't blame it on nobody but us. Literally, look, I mean, whose fault is it? Go to the mirror. Yeah. Go to your mom and dad's house. Go to your granddad's grave, grandmama's grave. And them's the people you need to be talking to. My dad pretty much checked out after World War II. He couldn't. They just couldn't function in society. He did pretty good there for a while, but it was actually a successful business for a few years. And then they started closing Air Force bases, naval bases around the country. And the old town he had his business in was dependent on an air base. And when the air base closed, all the customers died up. What's okay? Catch me up on this Amish farmer thing. Oh, well, get out from under my feet. You can't put your ear there and expect me not to step on it. You're going to lay it right back down anyway. It's oh, I don't follow. I don't go to Twitter. I can't get through. I can't weed through the trash, man. I have to. I hope I have the chat set to replay. I didn't go over there, and you got to go over there and do that every time. It's so annoying. But the guy can't eat his own produce. Was he selling without the stupid? It's like we were doing the eggs and stuff, but we got tired of having to print them stupid little stickers and put on there. It's lame. I mean, we were actually making money over. We were making money on our farm, and then we weren't anymore again. I mean, it wasn't paying for itself, but we were bringing in more cash than we were putting out. We were still only making about $2 an hour, but we were making money. Oh yeah, and I'm okay with traffic fines and stuff like that. The more I search the motorcycle guys on YouTube, the more I'm thinking, yeah, they need to do something about these idiots. I like to ride bikes. I really do. But when I ride a bike, I follow the law because I don't want to make somebody else responsible for me dying. If you want to go out there and do 120, 140, 180 or whatever on your crotch rocket, find a closed circuit and do it there. Don't do that on the street, man. It's not fair to the other people out there. The last one I saw, that truck had plenty of time to make the turn if that guy had been doing the speed limit. I mean, you can't see a bullet coming like that. I mean, you got a guy coming down the road at 200 miles an hour. You can't see him. I mean, you boom, top the hill. There's the truck making the corner, and that was not that truck driver's fault. If that road's probably max speed on that road was probably 60. And if that kid on that bike had been doing 60, he'd been able to shut it down. Actually, he wouldn't, maybe at the most, would have had to tap his brakes a little bit, and the truck would have been out of his way. So yeah, I mean, people that are out there completely disregarding the health and safety of others need to pay the ticket. In Texas, when I was a kid, they come out with a rule: you drive as fast as you wanted to. You just have to be willing to pay the ticket. I mean, the head of the DPS said, we don't care how fast you drive. Just be aware that if you're driving faster than the law allows, we're going to pull you over and give you a ticket. It's a free country. Do what you want to. Just pay the ticket. I'm not on my dadgum. Hold on, I got to go to YouTube. I got to go watch my own dadgum live stream. Hold on. Which means I got to turn them. Got to mute my Luma flicker. There's a lot of clicking. Hold on. Okay, I got that open now. I can't watch it here, but close this one. There. The last seatbelt ticket I got that I paid. I got another one after that, but I wouldn't pay it because I had my seatbelt on. But the cop pulled me over and he's like, "Man, you didn't have your seatbelt on." Yeah, I know. And I actually had it on. I stopped, took the seatbelt off. There was a dog in the road. I went up there and got the dog out of the road and got it out of traffic where it was safe and stuff. Then got back in the truck and drove 2 blocks. And you see me drive the 2 blocks. And I was like, he's like, "Man, I'm sorry, I got to write you this ticket. I saw the whole dog thing or whatever, but you didn't put your seatbelt back on." Well, you didn't have to write me the ticket. But I signed the deal and went and paid my $140 or whatever it was. I did it. That's the rule. If you do it and you get caught, pay the ticket. If you don't want to get a ticket for doing 60 and 50, do 50. It's fair. Now, getting a ticket for 53 and a 50, fight that shit all the way. Make it cost them way more than it was worth to write the ticket. if I'm not careful, I'm going to wind up getting a damn 65 and a 40. They moved the speed limit signs on me just enough to get me. I think they did that on purpose. I had muscle memory on the speeds, and I'm like, wow, where'd that come from? So what they did is they moved the 70 closer to the 50 and the 50 closer to the 45. So actually, I think they went the other way. But anyway, long story short, that 45 comes up a hell of a lot sooner than it's supposed to be. Shouldn't matter if you're an adult or not. I do not agree with seatbelt laws, but they're there. They were voted into place by our representatives, so they are a lawful law. Yeah, find somebody that'll repeal it. That's the reason I used to drive only classic vehicles. Was it 65 and back didn't have seatbelts, I believe. If it didn't come with a seatbelt, you didn't have to wear the seatbelt. I don't agree with the helmet law, but I agree that you should wear a helmet on a motorcycle. I don't like wraparound helmets. I don't like those. But I wear a helmet when I ride because it's stupid to be on a motorcycle without a helmet. I didn't used to, but well, I saw what happens to a skull when it hits the pavement after a motorcycle wreck. So now I wear my helmet. Like I wasn't going that fast either. See, some of the cars back in the day, they were offered as an extra. Like I said, I think 64 on back, 65, 64. I know 62 did not have seatbelts. 62 and 63 did not have seatbelts. I owned one Falcon that did, Falcon or Fairlane. It's been a while. Anyway, it did, and then the other one didn't. They were the same year model. They weren't voted in as temporary. And I agree with the child safety seats. Again, I don't know if people don't want to put their kid in the car seat, that's on them. But if the kid's not in the car seat and then they get in a wreck and the kid's killed, that should be negligent homicide on the part of the parents. That's what I think. When they're there. Now, should they be able to keep changing the rules and this, that, and everything else on them? No. In Texas now, even if a airbag deploys in the car while the car seat is in there, which doesn't take much, you have to replace the car seats. But then we've got to shrink the government, which is what we really, really need to do. Do we really need that many FBI guys? Do we really need the ATF? Do we really need the CIA? I didn't mean to say that out loud. We got the Marines. Why do we need the Secret Service? Why don't the Marines guard the president? They fly him around. Sure, they can find a few good men in the Marines, right? See what else? We don't need the EPA at all. Maybe a little bit of them but I don't know how you do the EPA where it wasn't a bunch of criminals just taking bribes and not doing anything about the people that are actually screwing shit up. If people would just govern themselves a little better, we could do away with a lot of stuff. Like, if people would just like realize that, hey, that stuff's bad for you, and then we could just do away with the DEA. Sure. Yeah, nobody ever kills anybody over there. Ahmed's family's bigger than ours, and he's got 2 more goats. I ain't gonna stand for that. Let's go kill his ass. We'll steal his goats. We'll take all his daughters, and then they'll make us some more peoples, and then we'll just be bigger than them. Not a fair assessment. It is the right way to be biblically, but nobody wants to live a biblical life. So, there. You cannot preach a biblically correct life in a modern church. Not and stay in the pulpit. And that's what I'm saying. Why are we not taxing the piss out of China and Mexico? Damn it, Bush. In all them people. Why not? Why aren't the EPA, yeah, we need the EPA, but they need to be over there studying other countries and saying, oh, y'all are nowhere close to the US and this and this and this. So we're gonna carbon tax your country. Everything that comes out of your country is gonna have a 20 or 30% carbon tax on it because you're killing the world. And just leave us alone. I mean, for crying out loud, I had 2 freaking catalytic converters on my truck. If I didn't have all the emission stuff on my truck could be getting 30 miles at a freaking gallon. Just got to work so hard to push everything out the ass end that ain't getting anything done. Yes, but those in our society who have no way of producing anything of worth i.e., the heavily populated centers like New York City, what do they actually produce? Are there factories in New York City? I'm asking. Seriously, are there any factories left, or have they all been converted into flats? Or um, yeah, I mean, if there's if there's so many people that 10% of them can produce everything that the other 90% need, what do you do for currency for the people that don't need to produce? It's we're set for a die off. That's what's going to happen. And I think the rich people know it. And as soon as they get everything figured out to where they've got all of their stuff locked in, we're going to have the die off. Now, I'm sorry, Rachel. Um, Stack it to the rafters. All you got in the coming die off, I honestly think, I think you 12 months. If you can make it 12 months, you're okay. That's my hoping. But we can't disconnect. Those of us who think like this can't disconnect from the political system, or the political system will wash over us like a flood. They will, I mean, they're already got me, or so I've been harping on all day long. Welcome to the socialist America. Welcome to the socialist America. There's less available in the store. It costs more, and it's worth less. Nobody is willing to work for a fair wage. Everybody wants the same as everybody thinks that the kid fresh out of high school, sacking your groceries, ought to be making the same money as the guy that's building the tank batteries with a skill level that takes 20 years to achieve. It doesn't work that way. Everybody wants to make $60,000 a year in graphic design where they can hang out in the air conditioners and click a mouse and stuff, and where they're not actually producing anything of value. There's you can sell graphic design, but you can't eat graphic design. A t-shirt is still a t-shirt, whether it's got anything printed on it or not. I think we've maxed out. There's I don't know what's coming, but the only real currency for the next several years that I think matters is going to be food and food production. That's it. That's what you need to be worried about. How much food you got, where you can get some more, and how you can produce some. Because the people that can produce food, after this hits, the people that can produce the food are the people that are going to be in power. If it blows unexpectedly, if it blows the way I think that I fear that they're trying to push it, it's not going to matter. They're going to come out ahead with all the arable land anyway. Trade good would be the currency. You know what I'm saying? The What are the weights given in the Bible? Yada, yada, yada. Which inflation's biblical, unfortunately. Those of you ain't aware, price of wine and liquor still ain't gone up that much. Everything else has. Yes, Savage. But how do we stop it? Our entire economy revolves around debt, not production. Our entire world economy works off of debt, not tangible items. And yes, that's the way socialism works right up till the end, until the people who are working decide that they don't have to either. That's what we're striving for, to get to a position where we don't either have to work. We don't work anymore. Then they can tax somebody else. But we have to get to the point where we don't need to work. SpaceX just launched. Later, Squatch. SpaceX usually streaks across the sky here when they launch. It's clear out there. I could probably go watch it. Hey, you. Why your tongue sticking out? You might want a dog. I think she's broken. I think she's got mental issues. Somebody's tickling her belly. Who's tickling her belly? Are you going to wake up? Didn't think so. Oh, you wake up when I stop? Give me your tongue. Your tongue is dry. Put that back in your mouth. That's better. Yeah, I'm probably going. Yeah, and you're up there. It's a little more expensive. I've worked my whole fucking life. I'm entitled to my retirement. There are some things you are entitled to. I have raised a family. I have sons and daughters that are doing the best they can. They're It's the cost of being kids. When it gets to a point, you're supposed to take care of the old fuckers. I don't believe in that working until you die bullshit. That's what they want you to believe you're supposed to do. Am I going to be out doing and taking care of business and stuff until I die? Damn, I hope I die of a heart attack in the middle of the garden or something. But I want to get to a point where I do not have to put back into this broken system. That's all. I want to be able to just relax. And I'm not talking the last 4 or 5 years of my life either. So when a man and a woman get to the age where they can't take care of business anymore, you put them on the ice floe and let them to die. When my teeth are down to my gums and I can no longer skin the caribou, feed me to the polar bears. It used to when you wore out, you died, said Dad. All they've done with a lot of the stuff is extend, like my mom, they kept her alive way past her due date. Um, Medicaid was willing to pay for the procedures, so they kept doing the procedures. And she shouldn't have had to die like that. They strip you of all your dignity before they let you. No, we got so many welfare babies in this part of the world, it's not even funny. If the government's paying for all their groceries, paying for their school, paying for their daycare, and willing to give you however much earned income credit at the end of the year on your taxes, kids are worth a lot of money. I know one bunch of people, they make bank, and all they do is foster kids. They're making close to $200K a year running kids through their house. It's crazy. And you always see, oh, my foster mom was such a good. No, most of the people that do the foster people are just playing the system. Each one of those kids gets a grocery allowance, and each one of those kids gets a cost of living allowance and stuff. So, yeah, it's. I digress. Somebody needs to do it, though. The kids need somebody. I don't care if the people are doing it for business or not. Somebody needs to take care of the kids. We tried it, but we couldn't. It tore us apart every time they took the kid out of the house. Takes us all about 2 days to fall in love with the baby, and that's it. Then they want to come get them. But no, that's our baby. And so you just have to cry it out. And we weren't set up for that. So it takes a special kind of person that can love them and leave them. And we're not that. I want them to stay the hell out of Ukraine. They want to send somebody bullets. They need to send them to Israel. Israel's doing good work. Ukraine falls straight on the alphabets. That's 100%. That whole mess over there, it's 100% us. The end. Syria, that's 100% us. Well, a lot of the old people that I know didn't really earn the patriarch or matriarch role. Uh, my wife was a way better mom than I was dad. So she's the matriarch. I don't think she wanted it, but she's earned it and she's going to get it. That's just the way that is. One of the things I saw that decided me to do this live stream, prior to yada, 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 the 82, 30% of men said they'd never changed a diaper. And today that's down to 3%. That's because in 1982, they was working. They was out there doing 10, 15, 20 hours a day. They didn't exactly have time to come home and do diapers so the wife could drink wine and watch her soap operas. Or whatever. I changed the occasional diaper on my kids and stuff, but it wasn't my job. I could do it. I have changed diapers on every one of my grandkids, I think, except for Melanie. I haven't changed Melanie's diaper yet. There's plenty of grown people around that younger than me. They can do it. If I'm lucky, to be potty trained before I ever get stuck in a position where I got to do that. That's my goal, is to go the rest of my life without ever changing the dirty diapers. And if I get knocked out of it for some reason, then I'll just start to go over again. The next dirty diaper just means I get a chance to start over. I'm going on 6 weeks right now. 6 weeks since I changed the diaper. That's a pretty solid record. I think I'm doing pretty good. So, yes, we did, Savage. There will be a lot of strong die too, Savage. That's one thing a lot of people I don't I think the meek will inherit the earth, but meek aren't mousy people. Meek are those who possess power but do not use it wantonly. They are in control of their power. A meek man given authority will never abuse it. A meek man pushed into a corner will tear a way out of that corner. He will not sit in the corner and die. But there's a difference. A lot of people out there like to think of themselves as meek. I like to think of myself as meek, and I don't think I am. So I'll just keep stacking it to the rafters and trying to learn how to grow stuff, and hope I'm one of the lucky ones. Hope I'm one of the lucky 9 out of 10. It's just that's all I got. Yes, people right, and the inheritance taxes and stuff. There's so many ways of getting out of having to pay that. They're there. It's just your responsibility as a citizen of the United States to research these things and find out how they work. Um, we will do all of our stuff is going to the kids in a living trust, and then it's not an inheritance; it's theirs. They can't do inheritance taxes and stuff. There's all these different ways. I'm not the person to talk to about it. My wife's the one to talk to about that. There's so many ways of getting around the inheritance taxes and uh, losing your inheritance to nursing homes. If they can't take the value of your parents or grandparents' home if they don't own them, but they need to get rid of them, ownership of them, before they need the nursing home. A considerable amount of time, actually. So, you know, we're actually looking into all of that right now. We're actually probably going to start the paperwork on it, and I just got into my 60s good, and she's not anywhere close. Because why around with it? Get it done. I don't. They're going to come over here and knock me in the head to take my house. Not all of them. So, and if you didn't raise kids you can trust, well, that's your fault. That's cool, David. Yeah, showing patience and gentle does not mean weak. Still doesn't mean weak. So one of the gentlest men I've ever known in my life. I will respect him forever. I will miss him until I get to see him again. James Ratliff. Nothing weak about that old boy. But God, he was gentle. Like a bear. He could squish you in his hands. But he didn't. Yep, that's why if you don't own it, you don't have to sign it off. The and you can do it. It's easy. I believe it's called a. No, I don't know. You look it up. I'll see if I can get my wife to tell me, and I'll write it down. I'll try to do a video about it where I sound reasonably intelligent. I don't have it in front of me right now. Well, that's cool. What a mess. What a mess. What a mess. That's true, Liberty. That's the other thing. That's our number next prep is we're trying to quit smoking again. I know it looks like it in here. That's why I was only going to let myself do an hour. Because I don't know why, man. Whenever I start these live streams, I just chain smoke. I don't smoke this much when I'm not on here. I opened that pack of cigarettes this morning and it was still mostly full. And now it's almost empty just from sitting here. Anyway, I'm going to wake my wife up if I don't get off here and get in there and get in bed. So, thank y'all for hanging out. Sorry I didn't really stay on topic, but because this world's all messed up. It's not just us. We're actually way behind the rest of the world and falling apart. I got no advice. What's going to work for me probably not going to work for you. What's working for you is probably not going to work for me. I guarantee you the answer has more to do with food and water and shelter than it does trying to maintain your wealth. I think that when this is all said and done, the people who are wealthy now are going to be the people who are wealthy when it's over with. The good thing about it is the people on the outlying edges aren't going to have to worry about them that much. That's my hope anyway. Yeah, and I mean to defend it. That falls into shelter. But anyway, God bless y'all. You'll stay alive, don't die. Sorry about Saturday nights, but Revolt of Men's been going live, and I'd rather be in the side chat than in front of the camera. I don't know if y'all know that about me. It's really not being in front of the camera is really not my thing. So I started doing these things just to come out of my shell. I do them a lot. So, yeah. God bless y'all. Y'all still have love all you people.